Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to Vintage Story. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So, I'd like to get started on a little something today that we've been needing to get going on for quite some time, and that is beekeeping. So, in between episodes, I sieved every bit of the bony soil that I had, which was about 3/4 of a stack, and I got a whole one candle. One candle out of all of that. So that's a bit ridiculous. We need to get some bees set up. So to do bees, we need to first grab ourselves a bit of clay, and then we need a lot of cattails. So we're going to grab all of these, and so the cattails, I believe it was 2 bits of clay here. Well, let's just go ahead and look at our recipe real quick. So we need to make this empty skep. So yeah, it's 2 bits of clay there, and then 2 cattails in every location after that. Now each of these will require us to carry without a backpack slot. So yeah, when we actually go to harvest these, it's gonna be kind of a pain. But we can make quite a few skeps with what we've got here. And there we go. So we have 13 skeps. So we're going to take these out to the place where we have our bees. So if we take a look at our map here, we have bees right out here. Now, I believe it was in the last live stream, as I was running past the bees, I went ahead and threw a bunch of flowers down around it. But they were down at ground level, and of course the beehive is up in the air. So we're going to take some dirt along with us. We're going to build a platform up in the air to put the flowers on and get the bees to actually start swarming. So I'm going to get out there, build the platform, and get all of these skeps placed down, and then it's going to be the waiting game as we wait for the bees to start to spread into our empty skeps. Now, in the meantime, I suppose I will probably be doing some mining, because I am a little bit low on copper at the moment, and I happen to have tons of lead. And since we're going to be needing a lot of outdoor lanterns, you know, molybdechocos tends to look pretty good for that. So right here, I believe, is our beehive. Yes, it's right here. So you can see nearby flowers is 0. So that is very unfortunate. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to break some of these leaves out of the way so that we can get up closer to the beehive. The most important thing is to make sure that we do not break the leaves directly above the hive, because that will cause the hive to break and the bees will start swarming all over around us. So yeah, gotta be careful. But I'm going to get this all taken care of here. And I will see you guys hopefully when we have some filled skeps. So I was starting to run out of pies to eat, and so I wanted to try something that one of you guys had suggested in the comments. So I have been baking all of these pies only part baked, and then when I am ready to actually eat them, I am going to finish out the baking process. And then also, apparently you're supposed to be able to char them later on, and you can make them last even longer. So yeah, I've just been throwing these in here. We don't have near as long on these because of the fact that they aren't fully cooked. But we do have a little bit of time, so we've got like 8.5 days on these. The ones over here are showing 9 days, but we'll be able to just finish cooking them when it's time to eat them, and we'll see if that extends the timer on the spoiling. And if it does, that is a great way to improve it. And that would also potentially mean that we could prepare the pies, because an uncooked pie will last upwards of, I think it's 4 or 5 days before you even have to cook it the first time. So yeah, we could greatly extend the life of these pies if that is the case. So we'll see how that works out. Now, I have been collecting a lot, and I mean a lot, of cattails to deal with the fact that we're going to need a lot of skeps. So I have been kind of wandering around out in the open, and you know what? I'm going to leave these two in there because I kind of need some meat at the moment. So yeah, protein is really low. So we'll get these two red meat pies fully cooked. But yes, I have been out collecting tons of reeds. I've just been going all around through this area, and I've gotten quite a few, probably like 6 stacks of them, which is quite a bit more than I have gotten in the past. So yep, I will continue waiting for the bees to get their stuff taken care of, and I'll see you guys in a little while. And what do you know, we have 4 lambs in here. That is great. So I would say we shouldn't be far away from the sows having their piglets as well. That is wonderful. So we're starting to get our livestock taken care of. Oh, that is a good thing to see. So we now have a whole bunch of populated skeps. Now to move these, we have to get a backpack out of our backpack slots, and then we have to press Control to cycle over into the backpack slots, highlight one of those, and then, oh, I guess first we got to deal with this drifter, and this one, stupid guys. And also you can press Control and then the slot number. So in the case of the open one that I have right now, we can press Control 4 and it will immediately take us over there. But then we can grab that skep. Now, I don't know if we can do multiples. Maybe we can. Yes, we can. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me grab that one, but we'll go ahead and grab 3 of these. And what we're going to do is take these over to the farming area. And so I'm going to be working on getting an area set up for the bees on the live stream tonight. So yeah, I hope you guys will have joined for the live stream. If not, go ahead and go check out the second channel. The live stream replay should be up there, oh, probably about the same time that this video goes live. So yeah, link is down in the description for the second channel, but I am going to get these all over there and go hit the live stream. So I'll see you guys after a bit. So we had a very successful live stream. Got all the bees over here, got them set up, and we have a lot of bees over here now. So they have been swarming, and we've gotten a few hives that have actually been ready to harvest. So I've got 6 honeycomb in my inventory already. But yeah, there aren't any bees yet over on this side, so they're just going to have to slowly spread across here. Now, we do have a lot of flowers in here, but because I didn't want to deal with raccoons, I went ahead and put in a bunch of ferns. So I've got eagle ferns, cinnamon ferns, and I believe up here there's some of the smaller ones. Can't remember what they're called, though. But yeah, we've got lots of ferns, lots of flowers, and that just makes it look kind of neat. But plenty of flowers. If we look at this, you know, 33 nearby flowers, and there's plenty of them. So we are going to be putting a few more skeps up on the side of the cliff, and I think that's going to be it for this area. Now, also in the live stream, we did some discussion on what we're going to be doing with this area in the future. So one of the things that I did was to bring this path down through here and kind of circle it around so that it connects back up with the main path by the bridge. And so that gives us an alternate route to get over here to the bees without having to go through the main area and backtracking. It also gives me space for another farm paddock here. But I'm also going to be adding additional bee areas out here. And because we have so many bees, we're going to be needing a lot of cattails. So I think this pond here and maybe that one over there are going to be turning into cattail farms. I think that's kind of a neat idea. But we also were discussing a little bit of world building and lore for this world. And so if we look at our map, just to the south of where we are right now is where we had a ruin that, you know, I explored that very early on, almost immediately after we came through the portal. And one of the things that, oh man, major leg spike. One of the things that we found while we were exploring these ruins was a meteor. And so right underneath this round ruin, there is some of this swavite impact rock. And we've already cleared out the meteor itself, but it got me to thinking about ways that we could build a little bit of lore and story behind what's going on in this world. And so what we're actually going to be doing, I think, is a really cool idea. We are going to be making this round ruin into another mill. And then we're going to make the meteor actually look like the meteor came down and destroyed the mill, and flying debris potentially damaged some of the other structures around here. And so that gives me something really cool to work on in this area. And it is, if you ask me, a really neat idea. So yeah, that's something that I'm going to be working on. Another thing that we are definitely going to be working on is up here just right off of the path. So we did make this cliff and hill that the mill is on, and it turned out really good. I really like it. Looks amazing. But we have these two little hills here along the path. And so we are going to be building this up into a much larger hill and then have exposed stone facing the path. And so the idea would be that, you know, we have this lake over here, and there was a big hill right next to the lake, and so whoever built the path had scoured out a whole bunch of the topsoil to try to make a more reasonable space for the path, and had exposed the stone underneath. So that is going to require a lot of gathering of dirt as well as quarrying of stone. So yeah, over here just a little bit off to the side of the base, we've got our stone quarry here, and then of course the area here where we had cut down a whole bunch of dirt. And I think we'll just continue doing similar things to that, finding some of the steeper hills like these over here, and just kind of shaving the tops off of them until there's only one layer of dirt left on top. And we'll use that to fill this all in. Now, unfortunately, that means this little pond is going to have to go away, but I don't mind that. There's going to be a lot of work involved in getting this all built up and looking good, but this area is really shaping up. So I am very happy with how it's going, and I'm going to just continue working on it, and I guess I will see you guys in a little bit. So while I have been working on all of this terrain around here, there was something that I forgot to mention. So I have been going around clearing all of the grass and horsetail out of the farms. And yeah, horsetail, we don't get a lot of horsetail, so that's kind of sad. I'm a little bit disappointed on that. We used to get a lot more horsetail, and poultices have really become a bit of an issue for me with all the deep caving I've been doing lately. But that is only the first problem, you know. So yeah, we'll have to work on that later on. But I had totally forgotten about this little spot right here. So I took some of the compost that we had and made it into high fertility soil. And supposedly we were supposed to be able to turn the high fertility soil into terra preta. I completely fertilized this to the maximum levels that it could take, and it is back down to normal, and it's still at just high fertility. But it got me to thinking that, while I'm doing all this work, we could be taking advantage of that little bit of stuff, the high fertility soil. So I think what I'm going to do is come in here and literally plant everything that I can, as well as harvesting all of the berries as well. And we're going to try to get this stuff to rot and start doing major composting, because what I would like to do, I don't really want to put terra preta down on all of this because I don't have nearly enough to cover it all. But we could very easily change all of this to high fertility soil over time. So yes, I'm going to get all of that planted. Now, in order to make a bit better harvest, we are getting these spots that have zero moisture. So unfortunately, some trees are going to have to come down, like this guy here, which actually is sad because it's a very large tree. That one there is going to have to go, and strangely enough, this one's going to have to go because it is causing a dry area over here in this farm. So yeah, got to deal with trees and things like that. That's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I'm just going to keep working on this. Like I said, I'm going to plant literally everything that I can. And I'll probably even plant the turnips and things like that I still have back at the base. Because if all I'm trying to do is get rot, the more that we can plant, the better. So I should have enough to plant something like 15 stacks of seeds right now. So yep, I'm going to get all of that planted, and we're going to have so much food and grain, it's not even going to be funny. So I got every bit of the farm planted that I had there, and I got a lot of onions. I didn't plant any peanuts. Can't plant bell peppers. That's unfortunate. Sounds like we may be able to plant those in the future, but we can't yet. But so, yeah, I got a bit of a problem now. I actually ran out of food. Now, we have a whole bunch of partially baked pies in our bakery. And during the live stream, we tried a little something. We actually finished baking one of those pies and found out that, yes, indeed, it does actually reset the spoil timer on the pie to take it from part baked to fully baked. And then I am assuming, based on comments from you guys, that it will again reset once it gets to the, what? There we go. Once it gets to the charred state as well. So, yeah, that is pretty cool, actually. So we can actually make our pies last tremendously longer than we would be able to normally just by re-cooking them. So basically it gives us 3 times the length for the life of our pies. Now this chest is empty, but we have a whole bunch here still. So you can see we have about 2 days essentially on most of these. And if we look here, we need protein and we have vegetable and fruit. So the protein is the biggest thing right now, and yes, okay, we have 1 red meat. Okay, we have 4 red meat pies there. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some of these single pies out of here. But we need food really, really bad. So yeah, I'll just bake these real quick, and then we can take a look at the difference that this makes. You know, these were 2.2 days in there originally. And I think we should see upwards of 8 days again once they are fully cooked. So this will take just a moment. And with that, our first pie is baked. So let's go ahead and see what that did to the spoil timer. Fresh for 15 days. There we go. So you can see it fully resets the spoil timer. That feels like a bit of a hack to me. But of course, these 2 pies we are going to immediately cut up and get ourselves a bit of something to eat. So let's get a meat pie and a vegetable pie, and there we go. I am doing okay once more. And while I am here, I will probably drop off the honeycomb that I have, and hopefully we'll be able to start actually getting some honeycomb. But I'm going to have to build another farm out there at the remote farm location because we are definitely running out of space out there. So yeah, I'm going to just bake these last 2 pies, and then I'm going to go back and get some more work done. So once again, I have run out of prepared food, and I came back to cook my pies, and I found out they're starting to spoil, and they're spoiling quite a bit. So what I wanted to try to do was cook the pies and see if it resets the timer on the spoiling. Alright, so there we go. We've got some cooked pies, and let's see what we got here. Fresh for 8 days. Okay, that seems broken. That seems really broken. So now we're good for 15 more days on these pies. So, yeah. So we can actually get pies to last for a very long time. So let's just see. I have some of these pickled turnip pies. And so they're fresh for 3.6. We can get about 15 out of each stage of the cooking. So yeah, we're good for about 48 days, plus spoil days, on these pies. That, like I say, that seems a bit broken. But yep, that's where I'm at the moment. So also there was mention of being able to put patterns onto the tops of the pies. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some red meat here, which, by the way, the reason I have all this red meat, all the piglets grew up. Now, while I was expanding the pen, one of them got out, so I did have to, take care of it. But yes, let's just make sure that these haven't baked yet. So we can place the top on the pie. Now, supposedly you're supposed to be able to use it. Okay, so you can use a knife to change that, or you can just click on it again with the dough. And it doesn't use the dough, it just changes the pattern. So either a knife or additional dough, either one works. So now we should have some prepared pies here. Let's go ahead and grab these. And did that? Okay. That looks way different. But yeah, I'm going to keep cooking these pies because I don't feel like having them spoil. And I will see you guys in a little bit. So a lot of work has been done here around the farming area. I now have another farm paddock here that will take another 5 stacks of seeds to plant. I have been planting and harvesting stuff here. Gotten onions and turnips already from it, and all of the berries that I harvested have turned to rot, making about 4 more stacks of compost. So I've gotten a fair amount of the high fertility soil, but I've also been harvesting the bees, and I'm up to 10 candles now. So that is really nice. And by putting this stuff here in chests, we get a very high spoilage rate, and this stuff should go bad very quickly and make more rot. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Got a bunch of the trees taken out around here so that we can actually have all of the stuff growing. But I think what we're going to do now is head back to the base and go ahead and make up our lanterns, because yeah, we definitely need those to do the things that we need here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head back and get that. But these hills, so I have built them up quite a bit, but they're still not quite done yet. We need to get a lot of quarried sandstone and get the face of this to where it looks a bit more like they actually scoured out the ground here. So yeah, I still have some work to do, but lanterns, finally we have them readily available to us, and I think that's going to make things a lot better. So I'm going to head back to the base, make up a bunch of the lanterns, and probably work a bit more on that hill. Try to make things look a little bit better. So we got done with the Sunday live stream a little while ago, and yeah, I was hoping that I would have this episode to you guys before the Sunday live stream, but yeah, that works out okay. And look at that. Isn't that amazing, seeing that there now like that? That is so cool. But we got a lot done on the live stream. So if we come up here, we can see that, well, first off, all of our crops are grown again. And so we're going to have to do a lot of harvesting of the grains and things like that. And again, we are going to be putting the majority of that to rot. So yeah, that's a thing. We've also got our berries ready to harvest once more. And that's perfect because we actually just ate the last of our cranberry pie. And so we need some berry pies again. So that's great. But we also have some bamboo has now grown inside of this bee area. And that I think it looks so absolutely amazing. Now, we got the layout for the second bee area done during the live stream, but I was having some CPU issues, running close to 100% CPU usage, so I did have to cut the stream a little bit short, and so I finished this out off camera, put in all of the flowers and ferns, cattails, bamboo, all of that stuff, and then put in a bunch of empty skeps and a couple of populated skeps. And we now have, well, they've been spreading. So that is perfect. Like we've got this guy here, and it looks like it's spread twice already. So yeah, we're getting a lot of those. I've also been harvesting plenty of the skeps when they are ready to harvest. And so I've been making a lot of these molybdechokos lanterns. And so those are getting spread all over the place here. You can see we've got one there, there, up on the corner, another one on the far side. You can just barely see it above my cursor there. Two of them down here. We've got a couple of copper lanterns inside of the mill. Makes it really nice and bright at night. And yeah, just in general, there's another one there. We're getting lanterns all over the place here, but the lanterns are only there to make it easier to see what's going on around here, because this entire area is non-spawnable. The only places that mobs can spawn around here is on that side of the fence and clear up by the mill or in the bee areas, because that is all, well, that stuff is not protected like these are, because this has paths, which they can't spawn on paths. Farmland, they can't spawn on that either, and then of course they can't spawn in the walls. Now, one thing that we did decide that we were going to do in the live stream, well, it was the main thing that I wanted to do in the live stream, was, we have a huge amount of skeps that are going to have to be able to be replaced on a fairly frequent basis to keep this all flowing properly with the bees. And so to deal with that, I knew that I was going to need to get a bunch of reeds, but I found out that I could actually use papyrus for that. So we went out and collected tons of papyrus roots, and we have a massive papyrus farm here. And I mean, this thing is huge. There's 3.5 stacks of papyrus roots planted here. And eventually we may come through here and dig out a few random blocks and replace them with water and put in some lilies and things like that. But yeah, this is going to be a really nice area when it's all grown. We're also going to be planting, I think, a purple heart or an ebony here on top of this. Now, ebony, that is something that I want to show you guys. So if we take a look at the map, the way that we got all of these papyrus roots is we came out here and started working our way around this lake. And we got tons and tons of papyrus from around there. And we got all the way around to here, started coming down this side, and just kept coming down. And then we saw this, and it's like, that looks kind of weird. Let's take a look at it. And so this is a massive bamboo forest here. It seems to be all brown bamboo. But yeah, I mean, we've got green bamboo elsewhere already. But then I noticed these. And to me, this stuff kind of looks like ebony. And so we popped down over here, and sure enough, it was. This is a huge amount of this is ebony. So we have a huge amount of ebony and acacia growing together down here. And I mean, like I say, there is just tons of it down here. Just ebony everywhere. You see, it went off the bottom of the map, but there is just tons and tons of ebony down here. And we didn't get over here. This actually looks like it may be andesite sand, which that would be pretty cool. But part of the reason we were also doing some exploring was to get flowers for all of this. And we did get a whole bunch of flowers, as well as some that we didn't have before. So we got some red lupins. These guys right here look very nice. We got some more orange lupins, and we also got some white lupins, which is one that we had not gotten before. But yeah, I added a couple of red lupins in here. Makes that look a little more interesting. We are almost ready for our green bamboo to grow. And I would imagine we're getting fairly close on our green spire cypress. Yeah, we got 5 days on that one and 1 day on that one. So that's great. Now we're probably going to want to get out and get a few more of those green spires because I think they're going to look pretty nice out here. We could plant one of them here, and since they don't block the rain, we wouldn't have any issues there. And so yeah, we'll probably be trying to collect a lot of the green spire, getting those going around here. And yeah, this place is really starting to look amazing. Now, before I go, there is one thing that I want to show you guys, and it's part of the reason why I wanted to make sure that this was during the daytime that I recorded this. So I had to come out this way to get some clay to be able to make more skeps for our newbie area. And so I have a clay area just over that hill over there. So I was coming back, and let's just go far enough up here that we shouldn't be able to see it anymore. So I was coming back, and just all of a sudden the mill presents itself over the hill, and you can see all the farms out in front of it. And this is just, it's looking amazing. We get some green spires in there and a couple other trees, and maybe we could work on a custom tree. I did make a custom oak in, I think it was an oak. It was either an oak or a maple, but I made a custom tree on or a fury, and so I know how to do that. It's not real fun, but I can do it. And so maybe we'll try to get like a big custom tree over here on top of this hill, just to give it a little bit more interest, because these trees, even though they're rather large, you can see from a distance they're a little spindly. Now this one here, I don't like it. It looks bad. So we'll probably be cutting it down and replanting it, and maybe we'll go with ebony or walnut, or maybe even the purple heart. You know, you can see those purple heart look really nice. I would be a little concerned that the purple heart might reach all the way over the path and start blocking this area over here. But yeah, there's so much more work to be done here, but it is looking absolutely amazing. And so with that, that is going to be the end of this episode. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or anything that you would like to see, be sure to leave that down in the comments. Be sure to check out my second channel. Link is down in the description. That will have the replays of the live streams that did a lot of the work in this episode. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.